There was no income, there was no revenue. We were just doing expenses, and I had no job. So I spent all my savings, everything. And like I couldn't even afford to pay my rent, with a friend. So
Wow.
it was like, seriously, that was the lowest moment for me, because I was like, I was stuck with, do I keep pushing this or do I go back home? You know.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to another episode of the Melanated Files. My name is Ranzel, and today I'm joined by my wife,
Janique.
Right, so welcome again to the Black Experience Stories TV. Remember to subscribe to this channel if you have not done so already. Today we have a very special guest, Grace Okafor. She is the CEO of Beauficial and GIO Cosmetics, right? The very first Black-owned South Korean beauty brand for Black women and people of color. God has answered all your prayers, right? So this is the answer right here. So we're going to get into Grace's story right now.
My name is Grace Okafor. I'm the founder and CEO of Beauficial, which is a brand that made GIO Cosmetics. The aim of Beauficial is to make it easy for Black women and people of color to have access to Korean beauty brands, and therefore we made the GIO Ultra 7 Brightening Cushion Foundation. So this product contains skincare ingredients, especially ingredients from Africa that are unique for Black women. We have a range of 6 shades from DG01 to DG06, and these shades cover medium range and very dark skinned people.
So Grace, nice to talk to you. I watched a few reviews about your makeup, so I'm really interested to talk to you. First, can you just give us some background of like where you're from and how you ended up in Korea?
Okay, my background is from Nigeria. I am a Nigerian. So I was born and raised in Nigeria. I left Nigeria in the year 2015 to come to Korea because I wanted to do my master's degree in Asia. Actually, I wanted to go to Japan, but I was scared because of the earthquakes. So, so somehow a friend of mine, while I was working back home, introduced me to the Korean Cultural Center, which was right behind my office. So then the only thing I knew about South Korea was the Kim Jong-un episodes, the nuclear bombs and stuff. So I didn't really know much. So, but she said I should go do my research. So I think I trusted the media too much. So I didn't know much. So when I went to the Korean Cultural Center, I discovered a whole lot about South Korea. And the amazing thing is my journey to South Korea was because while I was studying Korean language at the Korean Cultural Center, a Korean teacher gave me a free mask sheet. So that was my introduction to K-beauty. And I used this mask sheet. It was so nice. It was so amazing. I was like, why don't we have something like this in Nigeria? Because all we had was products from China, right? So I began to do my research, and I could only come across a brand then. And so I said, okay, I think now I know what to study for my master's degree and I know where to go to. So I came to Korea and studied international trade and business with the goal to bridge the gap between South Korea and Africa, starting with Nigeria, in the health and beauty industry. So that was what brought me to Korea.
What did you study before international trade and business? What was your
Business administration. My undergraduate was in business administration.
Okay.
Okay, so how did the makeup come into play? Like, when did you decide that, you know what, I need to create this brand?
So while in Nigeria, I was exposed to a lot of made in China products, and I do have very sensitive skin. So
Okay.
when I use some of these products, especially like lipstick, my lips get swollen and stuff, and sometimes like I have serious breakouts. So I don't know how they what ingredients they use, but I react heavily to it. So I have to spend a lot of money to see how I can get products from USA. So, and but coming to Korea, I discovered that Black women living in Korea don't have access to, makeups made for our skin tones, because K beauty is more channeled towards people from Asia. So I ran out of what I came with, and I didn't know what to do. So I'm like, okay, my goal is to bridge the gap between Korea and Africa in the health and beauty industry. I might as well create a brand, a K beauty brand that caters to dark skin tones and people of color. And because K beauty is heavily into skincare ingredients, natural skincare ingredients, I thought about making a cosmetics brand that is skincare infused and very light. So I'm not a fan of heavy makeup, as you can see. I actually like makeup that looks natural. So that's why we came about Dr. GIO Cosmetics. So actually, Dr. GIO is a Black K beauty skincare infused brand.
You went to Korea in 2015, right?
Yes, 2015.
So you ran out of your products maybe within that year.
Of course, within months.
And then, so when did you start, finding the ingredients, and you made the decision to start the brand? Like, you know what, I'm going to do this and I'm going to find out how to do it. Tell me the steps.
Okay, so the first step was to, like I said, to bridge the gap between K beauty and Africa, and we started that with an e-commerce platform. So the goal was to show Korean SMEs that there is a market like Africa, and they are interested. They should be interested in your beauty products because it's so nice and stuff. So first of all, I started with that, and then subsequently, while I talked to them, I researched about what are the ingredients that they are using, the trends and stuff. So by the time I graduated by 2018, actually my language was between 2015 to 2016, the Korean language class. And then 2016 to 2018, I did my master's degree in international trade and business, with my thesis on the impact of digital trade on e-commerce, right? And, like bridging gaps between countries. So, and I really focused on K-beauty. And then after my master's degree, or while I was even doing my master's degree, I set about the process of learning how to open a company in Korea and stuff, because, you had the rules and regulations you have to meet. So I was doing that while I was doing my master's degree. So as soon as I completed my master's degree, I had some of the requirements ready. And between 2018 and 2019, I was also trying to meet up the rest of the requirements. So by July 2019, we registered Beauficial. And Beauficial is we made Beauficial as an e-commerce platform to link Korean SMEs to Africans directly. So we don't keep inventory. It's like Amazon or eBay, or. So the thing is just to connect them directly to each other. So
Okay.
while I was doing that, I was, to create a brand, it's a bit, you need money for that. So, and while I was doing that, I was trying to raise the funds needed to start my own brand, because a lot of the Korean companies I talked to were not interested in creating a brand for dark skin tones. So one,
Okay.
because they don't know much about our skin tones, and two, it's not a market they are ready to risk. So everybody was looking at China. So they wanted to create stuff that they can easily sell. So, and I'm like, okay, since nobody wants to do this, I might as well do it myself. So I used the knowledge I had with the skincare ingredients that the Korean beauty companies were creating and stuff. And then I decided to create a skincare infused K beauty brand for dark skin tones. Yeah.
Okay, what was the trial process like? What are some of the ingredients, right? Because it says on your website that it's vegan, right? It's cruelty free and all these things. So tell us about
Yes.
some of the ingredients.
One of the ingredients mostly is I, because I am looking at Africa, like, I'm from Africa, I made sure I incorporated shea butter,
Yes, I saw that.
I made sure I incorporated shea butter into our brand. And then there is vitamin C. And then we added what we call Korea call Sika. It's short for Centella asiatica. It's one of the trending ingredients in Korea now. And we have niacinamide, we have collagen, and we have hyaluronic acid for moisturization. So we have like 7 good ingredients, and adenosine for wrinkle, anti-wrinkle.
Okay. So
Actually,
did
it's
you,
8, but we said 7.
okay, no problem. So you formulated it yourself, or did you have like someone from the industry as well, or was it
Oh no,
all
I
of
don't
you?
have a factory, so I have to, because in Korea you have to work with the factories that are licensed by the government to make products. So I had to find a factory and then tell them what I want, the formulation I want. Actually, it took almost 10 months for
Okay.
the products to be ready. Yeah, it took a long time because they've never tried it before, and I kept
Mm,
on like, once they try one, we have to say no, this is not what we want. We kept on going back and forth until we came out with this first batch.
mm.
Okay.
So I see that you have right now it's only foundation, correct?
Yes, yes,
And it's 6 shades.
yes.
How did you decide the shades that you chose? Because it's only 6.
Mm.
How did that come about?
Okay, so because we're looking at not just dark skin tones, but people of
Right.
color, like I said,
Mhm.
which means we're looking at Afro mixed Indians and Africans, African Americans, and stuff. So we decided to create 3 shades, for the lighter skin, and then 3 shades for the darker skin. So I kind of did my research by looking at what are the shades that other companies have made, what are
Right.
the shades people are asking for, especially people living in Korea. So that is how I came about these 3 shades.
Mm.
And right now, mostly a lot of people are complaining that I made just three
They need
shades.
more. They need more.
So actually, like my first, if you looked at the review on YouTube, like they were like,
Mm.
as a black woman, I shouldn't have just made this, number of shades. But
Ah,
um, I try to explain to them that we have to start from somewhere first.
right.
And
Of
for
course.
me, it's not about the number of shades.
Mm.
Actually, it's about the product itself, the reviews. Do people like it? So because I think we are the first skincare infused brand, and I wanted to know, it's like, how are people reacting to it? Is it like, so the way I think it is it the same with them? Because
Mhm.
everybody's skin is different and stuff. So,
Mhm.
but our goal, like I always tell people, is Rihanna has set the bar. We are trying to get to that bar, like having at least 50 shades by the end of 2021.
Oh
That is
wow.
what we're working on. Yeah, so it's a huge investment, but we have to start from
Mm.
somewhere. So, and after cushions, also we're introducing lipsticks, concealers. It's going to be a full makeup look. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna get into that question. I was wondering what other products you plan to delve into. So eyeshadows and everything.
Yes, eyeshadows.
Okay,
Yeah, a full makeup look. Yeah,
full
that's what
makeup
we're.
look.
Yeah.
And so for 2021, what's the plan? Because you launched in uh,
Last year, 2020, right?
you launched in
Yes,
2020,
14th
correct?
November 2020. That was the day we introduced it to 50 Black women living in Korea.
So for 2021, you said your goal is to get up to more shades.
Yes.
Are there any other products besides foundation that may be released in 2021?
Oh yes, of course. While we are working on bringing out more shades, we are bringing out concealers.
Hmm.
So right now, actually, the manufacturer we're working with is working on lipsticks and eyeshadows and
Okay.
concealers, in addition to shades. So the shades will be gradually released. So, but
Hmm.
while we're releasing them, we're also releasing other products so that people can, buy other stuff they need, not just cushions.
So
Okay.
what has the response been so far? So when people they've been trying your products, are they hailing you the queen? Like, hey, you're rescuing us. Like, what's the response like?
It's been amazing. Like, I'm really grateful. I've not gotten any bad like feedback. The only bad feedback I get is, why did you, a black woman, make just six shades? So,
Okay.
but in terms of the product, like, it's been really amazing. They keep asking me, when are you coming out with new shades and stuff, and
Mm.
you know, and I'm like, we will come out with shades, but also because I wanted to do what I call grassroots development,
Mhm.
or grassroots marketing. I kind of get their response based on the cushion, like, oh, I want this shade, I want this shade. So to me, I'm also gathering data based on,
Right.
okay, so these are the right shades to make now. I don't want to just produce shades and then nobody, it's like I hit a wrong mark. So,
Yeah.
yeah, the response has been really, really nice. And
Mhm.
I'm quite happy that women, Black women in Korea, kind of like, oh wow, let's support one of our own, and it's been amazing.
Okay. So do you have a physical location?
Oh yes, so because we are currently under what we call the Seoul City Startup Mentoring, so we are located at the Seoul Global Startup Center.
Okay.
I don't have your product here, but I watched the reviews and I really like the packaging. It's very pretty. Um, so I really did. You have a lot of say in the design of the compact?
Yes. So actually, it was done by a student.
Oh,
So
okay.
I try to use a lot of young people's creativity and ideas, and then tell
Mhm.
them what I need. And I told her what I wanted it to look like, the colors and stuff, and then she
Mhm.
came out with this nice design, and I went with it.
Yeah, the
So
branding
thank you,
looks really nice. It looks really nice.
So can
thank
people
you.
order online? Like, can they go online right now and order your product? Do you guys ship worldwide?
Oh yes. We are both on the Beauficial website. On Dr. Gio also has its own website, the drgiocosmetics.com. Currently, I've been focusing a lot more into going into the American market, but I think anybody anywhere in the world can order from our website. Yeah.
Okay, because
Awesome.
definitely in Asia,
Yeah,
it's a
I'll order.
struggle because we had a video where we were telling people just things that we find challenging within Asia, and we told them that, look, if you can't deal with this, it might be a deal breaker or not. It depends. And makeup was one
Yeah,
that
yeah. I
my
mean, I
wife brought
struggled
up,
with
right?
that.
So, what was the challenge for you? Like, what is it like in South Korea when Black women are trying to find makeup? What's that like? Is it really hard? Like,
Uh,
what do you do? Like, if you can't find it?
It is. It is hard. It is hard. Like, so African Americans, they tend to buy easily from the States because they have the way to ship it down to Korea and stuff. People like us who don't have those boxes or stuff in the States that can easily buy sent to Korea, we have to buy it very, very expensive, more than it, the price. So there is a beauty supply store. They tend to have this in their store inventory, but it's really, really expensive. And they don't have, like, say, I want to buy MAC Cosmetics. They don't, maybe they'll just have ELF, and I'll be like, okay, I'm stuck with this. I can't get this and stuff. So, but with the launch of Sephora in Korea, it's
Oh,
been, yeah, Sephora is now in
oh, I
Korea
didn't
last
know
year.
that.
Oh, Sephora is
Wow.
in Korea. So
Mhm.
um, it's much more easier now, but I think also the cost. And I think when Sephora launched Fenty Beauty, people were so upset that they did not stock
All the
shades for
shades.
dark skin. Yeah. So, but after a huge problem, like they had to increase their number of shades. So it's quite expensive compared to buying, having easy access in the States.
And the hair brand is clean and affordable as well.
Yes, 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 it is. Most times when we use makeup and we wear mask, when you
Yes.
take off the mask, the makeup goes with it. So, and people kind of like embarrassed these things, but we made our brand that it's a low mask transfer. So once you take off your mask, I mean, because of the color of the shade, yes, you might see the color of the shades on your mask, but your face doesn't look like you were even wearing mask unless you see the lines of the mask. And at that moment, you can just take our puff and just 2 dabs and you're good to go. So you could do it in public and stuff. You don't need to worry about, oh my God, is my makeup gone or something like that. So we no, we call it be beautiful and be safe. You don't need to stop wearing makeup because you're putting on mask. No, just continue being who you are. Love makeup and stuff. Don't worry about the pandemic and stuff. So I think that's one of the most our strengths. Not apart from being skincare infused. And we also made it that you don't have breakouts. The maxne, you don't have that with us because of the ingredients that were used to suit the skin while you're putting on makeup. So I think those are what differentiates us from any other brand out there, even though we just have 6 shades.
Tell us about the names, because I saw some names of the 6 shades, right? So I see that some of them have like your name and stuff. Can you tell us?
Fumi,
Yeah,
I
can
know.
you
Yeah, I know those. I know those names. I have Nigerian friends.
can you walk us
Yes,
through
they
the
are
name?
Nigerian names.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
they're all
so they are Nigerian names. So the first one is Aisha. It's from the northern part of Nigeria. It's
Okay.
we have, yeah, mostly a Muslim, or you also have Christians who answer Aisha. So I try to cover the top 3 tribes in Nigeria. So Aisha is from Hausa, the tribe Hausa, and then the second one is my name, Ijoma, which is Igbo. And then the third one is Ella. Actually, that's my niece.
Oh,
So I
that's
named
Okay.
cute.
one of the
Okay.
products after her.
Oh,
So
that's cute.
yeah, and then the fourth one is Fumi, which is from the Yoruba tribe. That's the western part of Nigeria, and
Mhm.
BC. And then the last one is Choma, which is also from my tribe, Igbo. So it's
Mm,
after the Igbo, Yoruba, and Hausa parts of Nigeria.
nice.
I like that because it's like every time someone uses your product, they think of Africa, right? The names, they have to
Yeah,
say it, they have to
that's the
call it.
goal. That's the
Oh, I
goal.
need Choma. Oh, I need Fumi.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
How has cultural differences and just being a Black woman affected your business relationships and networking? And how have you been able to navigate the K beauty industry?
I mean, cultural differences affecting my business. I think the most thing that affected me was the language barrier. So, but because I had basic knowledge in Korean language, I've been able to navigate that. Koreans really, I've come to understand that they're really, really patient if they see that you're willing to speak the language. They don't
Wow.
expect you to speak to be perfect. What happens is that sometimes they find a translator for me, especially in business Korean. So
Mm.
Mm,
conversational Korean, I'm good, but business Korean, I'm not good. So, but they
fair.
find somebody to make me understand what they want and stuff. So I've been able to navigate that. It's not been a huge problem for me. And in terms of um, me succeeding, I know one of the support I got from the government. It was all documentation was in Korean, but even though they knew my Korean was not good, they were really really patient with me. Like, I can tell most people don't know, but South Korea, once for foreigners, especially foreign startups, they are really patient and nice.
Wow.
Just don't tell them do it in English. I mean, you're in their country, but just show them that respect, for their culture and
Mm.
stuff, that you're willing to learn, and they will go above the moon to help you succeed. So it's been amazing. And even the Korean companies, they are really interested in moving to Africa. If not for COVID-19 last year,
Mhm.
would have had a physical store in Africa for these brands. Like they keep in touch, asking me about situations in Africa and stuff. So the networking is really good.
Okay.
I think I'm lucky.
Okay. So it seems like they were very instrumental in the startup.
Yes, yes.
So
The Korean government was very instrumental.
do they provide funding as well?
Oh yes, they gave me, so for the startup center where we're located, they gave me $10,000, which is like 10 million Korean won. That was the basic funding needed to register the company, do the website development. Do you need a legal advice or stuff? It's more like they call it seed funding. So
Mhm.
everybody who gets into the center gets the 10 million Korean won, which is the equivalent of $10,000. And
That's
then
good.
also the cost we needed to spend for the brands, the government also supported us with it. It's not
Wow.
free, but I mean
Yeah, yeah.
it's the basic you need to get products.
Oh, that's
Mm.
amazing. I think, as you said earlier, like I don't think a lot of people know about that. That the Korean government is so
Mm.
helpful toward foreign entrepreneurs.
Yes,
That's big.
I'm not the only African here. So there's a guy from Cameroon. He
Uh,
was, people are not aware until when I tell them. So when I told him how I got access to funds for my product, he was so happy. And then he tried and he got the funds too. And I'm like, yeah, you're the second African.
Oh, nice.
nice.
Wow. What was the most challenging part about starting Dr. GIO Cosmetics?
I think it's finding because I'm not in Africa, or I'm way out here in Asia. It's you don't have a lot of women like me here. It's actually
Mm,
finding the right team who
Mm.
buy
okay.
into your idea. So most people here are teachers, and it's quite difficult for them to get a job to work with me because their visas are teaching visas. So I can't even, if I wanted to hire them, it's not possible. So
Mhm.
Okay.
yeah, so I'm kind of like stuck with looking for students who, because as a student, they can do internship. The visa allows them to do internship. So the most problem we're having now is HR,
Okay.
finding other Black women who can, or Black men who are interested in beauty, who can come and join the company.
Okay, well, I'm
Wow.
pretty sure that people will reach out once they see this
Yeah.
interview, right? So, where could they send an email? Like, if they're interested and they're watching this from somewhere in Asia or somewhere else, where could they send maybe an application?
Oh, they can. So Dr. Joe just has one email right now, info@drjoecosmetics.com. So
Okay,
once they say it, we'll have access to it.
all right. So, another question I have too is, what was your lowest moment and how did you overcome it?
You mean when I came to Korea, or while I started
Both,
Dr. Joe
but the brand
2020?
first. So, your business first, and then in general.
I think the lowest moment for me was 2019 December, because
Mm,
my life changed 2020. Like people say 2020 was a year for Corona. For me, 2020 was the year I moved forward. So
okay.
that period 2019, like I said, we just registered July, and I was like doing my best to see how to push the company. So actually, there was no income, there was no revenue. We were
Mm,
just doing expenses, and I had no job. So I spent all my savings, everything. And like I couldn't even afford to pay my rent, with a friend. So
Wow.
it was like, seriously, that was the lowest moment for me, because I was like, I was stuck with, do I keep pushing this or do I go back home? you know.
Mm.
But so one thing happened. I was like, okay, I know Korea has this, but I was scared that, it was meant for only Koreans because everything was in Korean. Like I said, it was all in Korean language, documentation, everything. So at that point, it was either you apply for this, like you have to like man up or woman up and apply for this, or you go back home, you know.
Mm.
So, and I'm like, let me do this. It's a matter of yes or no. I've never tried it, I don't know anybody who has tried it, who said, like they rejected them or stuff. So I began to like talk to the mentors at the center, and they all like came together, helped me to do the translations, everything I needed. And then I called, and the moment I called, they were surprised, first of all, that it was a foreigner who called. And I'm like, they said, okay, we're going to transfer you to this branch who is close to your region. So they transferred me to a guy, and within 30 minutes, the guy called. And they said, okay, send us your business plan, send us like the necessary requirements. And then the next day, they called back. They were like, okay, we need to talk to you. We need to see you to be sure who you are, because I was amazed, like it was so fast.
Wow.
And
Mm.
yeah, so that day, my Korean was not like, he was asking me questions, especially the financial aspect of it. And I couldn't, because I didn't know business Korean, I couldn't
Yeah.
really explain. I was so lucky that one of the mentors was around. He knew everything about my business and stuff. So he explained to him, the financial aspects of my business, everything. And that was how it started. Like by February, everything was ready. The
Wow.
government gave me the funds I needed. And
Okay.
so I could say, like, while Corona was striking, I was getting
Excellent. Yeah.
a new chance to survive. And ever since then, I did not look back. I've been like so grateful, like
Oh,
to Korea.
wow. That's amazing, man. This story is inspirational. I'm sure
Yeah,
that people watching
definitely.
this right now, they're inspired. I am
Mm.
inspired. So I
Yeah,
know they
I'm
are.
inspired. My mind's like,
What is the greatest lesson you've learned from your journey so far? Right. So, moving to Korea 5+ years later, like what is the greatest lesson that grew out of your experience?
I think I don't know. One of the greatest lessons I would want to share is I think you. I don't know if you've seen this image of someone is digging and digging, and
The,
right when they're about to hit the gold, they give up and
the
turn back.
diamonds, yes.
oh,
Yeah,
wow.
that whenever I see that image, it reminds me of me. Like I was digging and digging and digging, and at the end of 2019, I nearly gave up. You know, I was about to turn back, but I said to hit one last time, and then
Right.
it struck the gold. So I think I would advise people is never give up. You know,
Indeed.
and as a Christian, we have a saying in Nigeria that God is a God of, how would I say, dying minute. So it's like
Last minute, like
at the dying minute when you're about to give up,
Yeah.
God just answers your prayers
right
and
in
stuff.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, so like I would tell people, never give up. And
Mm.
I had the opportunity to start teaching. And I'm like, if I start teaching, I will leave this, you know.
Mm,
So I had to choose my path. And I said, no, teaching is not for me, even though it will give me the basic money I need to be alive in Korea. But it's not what I want. That's not why I came to Korea. So I had no job and stuck to, achieving this goal. So I would tell people the question is, why are you doing what you're doing? Are you doing it for the money, or are you doing it for the passion? If it's the money, you will end up, living that part when you find something that gives you instant money, instant gratification. But if it's for the passion, you will stick to it. So despite any obstacle, despite anything that may come your way, you will stick to it. And with at the last minute, you might even come up with that courage to do that you've never done before. And that might be the thing that will change your life.
Wow.
Mm,
Wow.
nice.
Like this is so inspirational,
Yeah,
right?
it's really cool. I really, I'm enjoying hearing about your story. It's
Mhm.
really amazing. So you said you weren't really familiar with K beauty at the time when your friend shared that. Not sorry, not your friend, the lady
The
from the
teacher,
cultural center shared
yeah.
that mask with you. Has the knowledge of K beauty increased in Nigeria? Do you think, or within Africa in the
Yes,
last few years?
yes. I mean, thanks to K-pop and the Korean
Right.
and stuff, K-drama, it's increasing, but there's a huge problem I'm beginning to notice. Like, um, most people don't know the difference between Korean language and Chinese language. So a lot of people go to China, then they buy these products thinking it's K beauty. And then people, because they don't know the difference, they use it thinking they are using Korean beauty products. So when I go on Instagram, I see people selling made products made in another country being termed as K beauty. So right now there are a lot of fake. That's why I'm worried. Uh, uh, what would happen by the time we introduce our physical Korean beauty store?
Mm,
Maybe by then, people who have used the fake ones and reacted to it might think K beauty it's not good for them, but
Okay.
actually they've been using the wrong one. So um, I don't. I'm fingers crossed. Let's see what happens before then. But it's increasing. K beauty knowledge is increasing. But I'm just worried about as it's increasing, also fake products are increasing. So.
you did say that you want to bridge that gap of beauty, not just Nigeria, but Africa as a whole. So, are there other countries that you've been touching base with, and what are your goals for Africa and for Nigeria, your home?
Okay, what are my goals? So before I give my goals, I need to differentiate Beauficial and Dr. Gio, right?
Okay, go
So
ahead.
yeah, Beauficial is a service, while Dr. Gio is a product. So
Mhm.
Beauficial is a platform that connects Africans directly to Korean beauty SMEs. So those products are not my products. So it's like people who want to buy anything they want to buy, they can buy directly from those guys, and they're sure they're buying authentic products and stuff. So that is what we want to physically expand into Africa, like Nigeria. So it's like having a Sephora kind of thing. So we have Beauficial has like a physical store where you see a whole lot of K beauty products and brands, and you're sure anything you're buying there is authentic. It's 100%.
Mm,
Yeah.
understood.
So why Dr. Joe is our brand that, so it's like in Beauficial, you can see Dr. Joe, and stuff. Yeah. So I think it's not just Nigeria, South Africa. KBD is huge in South Africa. Also Morocco. You have
Mm,
Kenya. These are the countries that KBD is beginning to trend, even much more
mm,
than Nigeria. So those are the places at least for each year. Nigeria would have been last year, but COVID did not allow us. So we're thinking by the end of this year or next, we should have a physical store in Nigeria or South Africa, and then from there we expand to other countries.
So how can people support you, right? So those who are watching right now, what do you need primarily? Is it maybe promotion, or do you need people to buy the products? Like, what do you need? How can the community help you?
For me, it's not, I think I would say we need the products to sell so that we can also use the money, reinvest the money in making more shades. So,
Mhm.
what I need mostly now is people who are sure, I don't want to force anybody to buy my product. If
mm,
they think, oh, I have their shades and stuff, they could go to our website and buy the brand. If I don't have their shades, I mean, they could like let us know, this is the shade I use currently for this brand, and I would love you to produce this shade for me. So it kind of helps us to know what are the shades we should produce so that we don't waste money. For us, we're young, very young startup, so we have to
Yeah.
micromanage.
Yes.
And so what I actually need, like I said, is grassroots marketing. So they can support us by buying the products on our website, and also they could like let us know what shades they want, and then they can follow us on Instagram and spread the news and stuff to their friends. I most times I'm the one answering my Instagram because I want to have this one-on-one
Mhm.
relationship with people, so
Mhm.
kind of helps me to, be, like I said, just be there for everybody and learn more about the people I want to sell my products to.
So, Grace, I want to ask, the sort of incubator that they have in South Korea, the startup, how can someone else who has an idea, take advantage of that?
So if you have an idea and you want to be a part of the Seoul Global Startup Center, I think you just follow them on Instagram because they take in once every year. So application for this year should start by this month or next. And once you're taken by, everybody moves in around May. So I just started with an idea, so I would also encourage anybody who is interested to start with an idea. But unfortunately, when I started, I was not asked to have a company, but I guess because of what happened after that, a lot of people did not register companies as they promised, so they
Mm.
changed their rules. So now you have to register a company before you apply. So if you're really interested in moving forward with your passion and your dream, just register your company and send in your business plan and stuff, and make sure like it's not just something that anybody could do, because I mean they have up to 7,000 applications. So they have to, choose. It's very competitive. I'm telling you, it's very
Okay.
competitive. Yeah. You just have to, in your application, just show that you know what you're talking about. I think somehow that passion shows when you making your application and presentation. And the government is not stupid. They know who is serious. And I mean, a lot of people, they've been disappointed a lot of
Mm.
times. People get into the center and they don't come up, they don't show up. So they don't want that. So it's like some people just want to come in and take the money. So it's
Yeah.
getting really, really, really like they are increasing their, oh no, I think he or she might not, because of what others are doing. So, but
Yeah.
that should not bother you. Just, have the courage and do the application. Like I always say, it's a matter of yes or no. You know.
Right.
You got to try, right? And keep trying, as you said. Tell me briefly, what has your Black experience been like in South Korea? Being a Black woman in South Korea, what has that experience been like for you in comparison to being in Africa or Nigeria?
Um, okay, one of the experiences is like when I'm in Africa, nobody looks at me because we are all majority.
Yeah.
But here, I'm one of the minority, right? So, people tend to like, oh, especially like when I'm going home, I live in an area where you don't have a lot of foreigners, especially Black people. So when I'm going home, it's like there's this, like moment, like,
We're
but I
familiar.
think there's you can tell that they are talking about you, like they've not seen somebody like you within the vicinity and stuff. But outside that look, I built, how do you call it, this mental to like shut it off. But outside
Mhm.
that, they've been really nice to me and stuff. Like people, especially when you go to buy stuff and you're not able to communicate, somebody will walk up to you and help you to actually tell, oh, this is what she wants and stuff. Like, so it's like those kind of little helps and stuff. I mean, like I tell people, I've been lucky, maybe because I'm positive minded. I've not
Mm.
had other bad experiences that I read on Facebook and stuff, but for me, it's all been good. And I'm like, Maybe because I always think of good things happening to me. But like I said, Koreans are very hospitable. I compare them to Africans, you know. I
Mm.
imagine, what if a Korean is living in my street in Nigeria? The same thing I'm facing is what they'll face, you know. So
Mm.
we almost have the same culture, like, you know, we try to help strangers and, you know, be nice to them and stuff. So my experience has been really good in Korea.
Your story itself inspires me, just going after it. And it's so true. It seems, as people say, when it seems so dark, the darkest, time of the night is when the
Yeah,
light is about to break, right? And it's like you're going,
Yes.
you're
true,
going, you're going.
true.
And then you
Yeah.
kept going. And then finally, I think that's something that people should take away from this interview, that, you know what, never give up, which I also believe is very, 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 very important.
Yeah.
And in 2020, a year that was so dark for
Oh
other
my
people
gosh.
was a year of light
Yeah.
for you.
Yes.
Yes.
You
Yes.
rose out of it. So that's beautiful. That's inspirational, right? So Grace, I wish you, all the best, like success
Thank you so much, Ren.
to your business, right? And
Yes.
that 2021 will be a year of prosperity for you and your company, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
so guys, listen, man, y'all know the links will be in the description down below. But first of all, wait, where can they find you online? Where can people find you online?
Um, for my personal page, Instagram, it's GA. Okay, just change the A and R in my name. Instead of Grace, Gassi, and then 0K. So Gassi, okay, on Instagram. And yeah, I think I'm mostly on Instagram.
So what about the brand?
I
What
don't
about the brand itself?
Uh, the brand is Dr. Gio Soul. So Dr. Gio Soul on Instagram.
Mhm.
Even on right now, because we're still new, we've not really done a lot on Facebook, but mostly on Instagram, Dr. Gio Soul. And then for the website, it's drgiocosmetics.com.
So, guys, there you have it. This was Grace Okafor, right? CEO of Beauficial, right? And Dr. GIO Cosmetics. Listen, man, I've said it like 500 times already in this interview, but the links are in the description down below. Go over there and support this woman. Okay, until next time, guys, thank you so much for watching. Jay, thank you for joining me today.
No problem.
Let me know if you guys want to see Jay some more in the interviews. I might bring her out, a little bit more often. Remember to subscribe, like this video. Until next time. Bye for now.
See you.
Bye.